Hey, what's up, boxing fans? Just wanted to do a little response vid to Blood Boxing's State of the Welterweights 2. Kind of give my top 10 and pretty close to his, actually. He does a great job and dropping good knowledge, and I love to hear him talk about boxing. I love to hear anyone that truly knows the game. Whether I agree all the time or not, that's not the point. But just when you talk to someone that understand the sport, they understand the sport, and they know the fighters, not just the top names, but the club guys, the journeymen, and he does. And much respect to him. But anyway, we'll go on. And number 10, I think he had Lujan, and I'm gonna have Isaac Latsueo or Latsueo. I don't know how people want to pronounce that. Lujan's tough, and that win over Castillo was impressive. Although Castillo has definitely seen his better days, and he did not look anything like the Castillo of the past few years. Sometimes fighters almost seem to age overnight. I think that's what happened to Castillo. But anyway, Lujan's tough, and he's one of those guys right outside the top 10 for me. Lujan and Castillo and Quintana, people like that. I mean, not Castillo, Collazo. But anyway, so I got Latsueo, whatever, however it's pronounced. I don't know for sure. I've heard it different ways. Number 9, I have Kermit Cintron. He always has the puncher's chance. He lost to Margarito, but we know now there's no shame in that. And I think he just signed with Lou DiBella this weekend or this week. So we'll see what happens. I think there's some good fights. Good matchups, because he is an exciting fighter. He has the punch, and he's also, his defense is not that great. It makes for good fights. But I think a little more work in the gym, maybe. I think Cintron. I thought that he would use his jab a lot more, because he's got a pretty damn good jab. But anyway, I don't want to get into that and waste time. Anyway, I got Cintron at number 9. Number 8, Bonshu, however you want to pronounce his name. I don't know. I've seen highlights of this guy in a few rounds. I've looked at his record. I put him at 8. I want to see him fight a top guy before I'm really sold on him. But a lot of people think this guy's a future champion, so we'll see. Number 7, I got Zab Judah. Just like Blood said, he's a tough guy, and he fights anyone. And whether you love him or hate him, you have to give him respect. He'll fight anyone, and he's fought the best. And I don't think his performance against Clottey diminishes his ranking or standing in the welterweight division at all. If anything, it helped it, I think. So a lot of people would like to see a rematch. I would. Probably wouldn't be in the best business interest for Clottey to risk a rematch, but maybe down the road some. Anyway, so I got Judah at 7, and here was the biggest. At number 6, I have Andre Berto. Now Berto, he's one of my favorite young fighters. I started to put him ahead of Mosley, who I'll go ahead and tell you is my number 5. But Mosley has done so much, and Berto really hasn't faced the competition, near the competition, and he hasn't really faced that top level guy. And so I got him at number 6, but I think he's a future superstar. But I think, like Blood Boxing said, his handlers need to, there's no need to rush him, and I think, he wants to hurry up, obviously, but you want to make sure he's faced, he's been rocked a few times, but you want to make sure that he's faced every style. I think when you have a young boxer, I'd want my fighter, before I threw him in there against someone like Cotto or one of the top guys, or Margarito or Williams, I'd want to make sure he's faced a boxer, a tall fighter, a power puncher, a clincher, a brawler. Fight every type and style, and that way, he'd have the experience and he's seen it. I don't think he has yet, but I think the guy has everything to be a superstar. Love watching him fight. His hand speed, I was watching some of his fights the other night. It's even better than what I really had first imagined. And he's got everything it takes. I have Mosley at number 5. Still has something in the tank, and still has, like you said, quick reflexes. He's still got the quick hands, and he knows how to fight. He knows the game. He's been in there. Tough time for anyone. I still think he has a couple of a year or two of good performances left. Maybe one or two at that upper echelon before time really takes its toll on him. Of course, today some fighters fight into their 40s. If they take care of themselves and fight at a pretty high level, so you never know. I have the rest pretty much the same as blood boxing. I had Cotto at 4. Like he said, don't sleep on Cotto, because I think he'll take some time off. And then if I was his managers, I would fight a couple guys. I wouldn't jump right back in at the top level. Fight a couple guys. Probably have to shake the rust if he takes some time off and get some confidence back. But I don't think we've heard the last of him. Number 3, Clottey. What can you say? Clottey's just one of those guys that no one thing stands out about him. You don't think, wow, he's a devastating puncher, or he's blinding speed and boxing skill. He just does everything well, it seems, and just one of those solid guys. Just solid chin. Seems like he's a little above average in every aspect, and he's going to be a tough night for anyone. The top 2, I got Margarito at 2, Williams at 1, just like blood boxing. Same reason. Williams beat Margarito. I think it'd be silly, even though Margarito had the outstanding win and has probably faced overall better competition than Williams, but Williams beat him, so until he beats Williams, I think Williams is, until someone does. I think he proved when he come back and demolished Quintana, who's a damn good fighter. That showed the heart and desire to be a great fighter. And as long as weight doesn't become an issue as he ages, I think he's going to be a force, Williams, in the welterweight division. 6 foot plus, southpaw, 100 plus punches around. That's a nightmare, man, with a good chin. That's a nightmare for anyone. So there's a lot of good fights coming. A lot of good fights can be made in this division, and then some junior welters may move up, some junior middles may move back down. But there's so many possibilities from 140 to 168. There's so many good fighters. And in the welterweight division, a few right off the top of my head, you got Collazo still hanging around, Quintana. Never know what these guys will do. Paul Spadafora still out there fighting. Mike Jones is a young guy to watch out for, prospect. So it'll be interesting, and it's a great video, great knowledge by Blood Boxing, and I'll see you guys later.